aka Louis the French Monette, and we are Schmoes of the North Entertainment. All right, and you're watching Schmoedown Night in Canada with me, like usual. Yes, you are my boys. Come on down. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Lou. Just literally got out of the last Star Wars match.
Nice. So it's fresh in your mind, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot to talk about. Dave is here. It's just apparently there's like a billion tornadoes ripping his house apart, and audio would screw this show completely. So he's gonna write to us.
He's hiding from the wind, as he told us in the chat.
Yeah, I can only imagine him screaming like a girl right now, glass
Yeah,
shattering everywhere.
his fiance is consoling him.
All right, so look, let's fun games have to end. We're going to talk about the match. We're going to start with the LaMotta versus Scrimshaw. This felt like a semifinals.
Dude, it felt like a final.
Okay, yeah, okay. Final, semifinal, but in that area,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the best of the best meet at the end, or almost at the end.
Honestly, this could have been a headliner on any other show if Molly Damon wasn't on the other part of the card.
Match of the year, Dave says. I say no.
Yep.
I say still the finals is going to be, if you, let's say, the LaMotta versus Kelly.
Yeah, this is definitely a contender, though. This is a contender for match.
Nominee for sure.
Yeah.
Especially because there's so much. There was so much hype, right?
Yeah.
We these are two giants that never really had the chance to prove themselves correctly. A tournament is the best way to prove yourself, so they had a chance. And let's go just into it. At first, who'd you got?
I had Dimolanta going in just because I knew that he had a chip on his shoulder. He was hungry, and he really showed that in the match. And again, that's nothing against Scrimshaw because he knows his shit, as he also proved during the match. But it's just Dimolanta had just had that little bit more, and it proved it.
His eyes said everything. He was like an angrier ace. Guerrero is like that kind of focus, but one's on the heel side of like, I'm going to destroy everything. And the other one was more zen about it. But it was the same like champion mentality, hungry, to prove themselves. That being said, at what point did you tell yourself, was it round 1, round 2, or round 3 that you thought yourself someone's gonna mess up here?
Honestly, I thought it was round 3. Like I thought round 3 somebody was gonna miss a question. Like mess it up to the point where it was over. But hey, no.
You see, I had a feeling round 3 too, because you can see the LaMotta was getting jittier. There's a bit more activity. At first, he was focused, right? He had his eyes, but there's a one point there's something about him that I say, if he's at that energy right now, and he's starting to jitter, one like not sure question might trip him up. But I was completely wrong.
Yeah, no, they both brought their A++ game is the best way I could describe it. Like they both played the game of their lives.
They really did. Now the whole controversy. Okay, we'll get into that meet. That one word that broke my heart when I heard challenge, because right in my brain's like, the LaMotta's so right to challenge this.
100%.
And like, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say 100% because the question wasn't who, it was what. So I mean, right there should have been your clue. But yeah, no. As soon as he went challenge, it's like, yeah, Scrimshaw's done.
Yeah, and it breaks my heart because I want the Mercs to do good. I really want them to do good.
Yeah, they're the lovable losers. Is what they are of the league.
Yeah, they a sad sign. It's a sad day for Dungeon fans and Mercs. They're chilling in the bottom. The lovable bad boys and the lovable good guys are just
they're the bad news bears of the league.
And I don't know how weird things that probably happen in life, right? They can probably still go up in the ranks, but at this point, what do you do if you're Koi Janju? You know, like almost all your matches right now are not that good. Do you trade or you do persist?
Well, you can't trade anymore. I believe that's over. You know what? If I were him, I'd start looking towards the next year, to the next draft.
Yeah, yeah, no, true. Just, if he's back, you never know,
Yeah,
right?
if he's back, I mean, and that's one of the bummers about what's going on in the world right now is a lot of these teams aren't playing to their full potential because a lot of their star players, unfortunately, are in teams which we are not getting at the moment, which is definitely the case with the Quirky Mercs.
Yeah, and I hope they stay together because out of everyone, I like their chemistry best. It's like it's uniform. Like he chose personalities and the connection he thought he might have with them, and less about they're talented. But you see, his mind criteria is in a whole different spectrum than the other people's criteria for the draft.
Yeah, and Dave's 100% correct. He's got the biggest personality of them all, Kevin Smith, coming, who actually just announced today in a video that he is indeed joining the Quirky Mercs and is going to play in the Schmoedown.
Which I can't wait, but I question his recall.
You know what? He'd be surprised for that big of a stoner.
But you see, yes, he's good in stories, but short burst answers, telling a story, he's a mastermind. I've never really I listened to some of his podcasts and his comic book show back in the day, and I don't remember him giving a lot of like insider tidbits, little short facts. So I don't know if that's going to translate.
Well, they had at the very first season of Comic Book Men, they had a companion podcast that he was on for that first season, and they were definitely going into the deep dives and stuff, and he knew his shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, is there anything else you want to talk about? Maybe that controversial part, that word, or?
No, but Dave's brought a good point. It was the one thing I like the most about this, is I don't know if they've done it in the other live streams, was you actually got to see the managers manage, especially when going into round 2 when they were bringing the managers. I actually really liked that. I hope that's something that they keep. It was excellent addition.
Yeah, because you can fully see the potential and the style of every manager. It's not just about their personalities now. Now it's you can see how they, like I said, coach and play with their personality strengths. If I would choose a coach, I would go with Koi Janju. I love how he gives you enough info to make your own decision. He doesn't influence it. He just uses his skills to sharpen your decision making. So I find his style amazing, and I can't wait to see other faction managers to reveal more of their coaching style.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely something I hope they do keep doing from now on. But yeah, like Dave said, it was inspiring to see Tom, and I was nice to see his coaching style, because that's always been the thing, is like what kind of manager, what kind of coaches he is, and he's pretty competent.
You see, it's weird. I have a slight blank. Could you re-describe me again what he was saying and the way he was?
Oh, none. He was just pumping it up. Dave said it right. He's a hype man. He was just like, you've got this. Like, what do you want to do, sort of thing. Like, he was talking to his player and stuff. Like, it was nice to see. He wasn't just a face for the faction.
Yeah. No, that is true. That is really true. Like, yeah, okay. He's a hype man, but I can't say this. No, okay, no. I was gonna go through a thought, a train, but I'll just let it go.
And it was as always, Scrimshaw was always humble in defeat, and it was nice to see. Even Dagnino said he had to take my hat off to him. Like, they could have gone either way. They both played a really good match.
Yeah, and you see, Dagnino has a beautiful evolution now because when he knows, he used to run his mouth a lot, but when he realizes and has the respect for the other person, he really is very, very approachable, very likable,
Yeah.
and someone you can really root for now. Because before, the Dagnino of the past was a jerk, said a lot of rambling things, and he still rambles, but there's a lot more heart now.
Yeah, he's one of those, like, yeah, I can compare him to like a wrestler that's like a Rowdy Roddy Piper who
Mm,
was hated for so long. Everyone wanted to boo him, wanted to get their hands on him, kick the shit out of him, and then all of a sudden, something it flipped, and the crowd started respecting him. And no matter what he did, he would always get cheered. So he's definitely reached that point where he's reached legend status, where everyone respects him and likes him for the
mm.
most part.
All right, it's if that sounds pretty much what's going on with that Nino. I just can't wait to see if it evolves even more. If they're gonna
Hmm.
capitalize on. I hope Christian is hearing the feedback, like our feedback as well. Because if he can play on that and show even more of all the strategies, like show more. Facilitate more moments that you can see even more into the in depths of how this faction works, it would be amazing.
Hmm.
All right, so let's go to match number 2. All right, I'll
The
let you.
main event.
Oh yeah, I'll kick it off, man.
Okay, so it's Magic Molly Damon versus Adam the Razor Witt. And, Dave was 100% right. It was a close match. Dave's been calling it for a couple weeks, and it
Yep,
was a lot closer than I thought it would have been.
yep.
Yeah, no, Damon, pull up the win. Yeah, no, it's different. So many challenges. But no, Damon definitely pulled out the win, but you could definitely tell there were moments where, brain farts. And again, that's another thing Dave called. Like, what was her recall? And there were a few,
Yeah,
like she said herself, she blanked.
yeah, and when she blanked and when there was these moment of hesitation, she wasn't killer mode, right? Dave's words echoes like she really does have problems
Hmm.
to recall and might have the passion, but it felt like she and also her competitor were B class Schmoedown Star Wars players. They felt mid tier, They didn't feel like the top dogs.
Yeah, no, no, of course. But that being said, Molly's 5 pointer, man, that was a very impressive pull. Didn't even really hesitate to think about it.
Yeah, but I did find she kind of hesitated. There was a bit of like it wasn't killer instinct. It wasn't a Kalinowski say and get up the table,
No, no, no.
But it was a very hard pull, and I'm not. This is the type of questions you're gonna get in a finals, right? That type of hard was gonna be in round 2, to really prove
Yeah,
herself. So at least she know how she has the potential to get really hard questions. It just the brain farts, if they happen again against a person like Kelly, is she gonna survive?
yeah. That honestly, if I were her, that would be the thing I work on the most is building that memory.
Hmm. But how do you do in such a short time?
Uh, Dude, anything is possible. I mean, like they're probably in lockdown right now, so there's a lot of time.
All right. So any thoughts about Wit?
Yeah, no, he was really good. I'm just wondering about his challenges, like if they were just kind of done in spite. At least that's how
Uh,
the second one came off to me.
well, done in spite of, but he was right. So he just took advantage and kind of added attitude because he was pretty sure he's gonna win it, right?
Yeah.
But his comments were you can see he was getting frustrated.
Yeah, he
That
was
being
definitely getting more smarmy and stuff like that, and it kind of turned me off, I guess is a way to say that.
yeah, but that being said, it's he still had the right to challenge because there's things
Hmm.
that like any player would have challenged, and that's what I liked about it. The players are getting smarter when they challenge. There's those little details that would have went over a lot of players' heads back in the day, but now you have no choice, and it's being used very intelligently. And I love as well that again the managers can go up and say like, "I need to challenge this."
Hmm.
It adds a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, and that's what Sam did with his challenge. Like he hopped in right in. It's like I got to challenge this. I got to challenge this, and it played in their favor. What I find funny is about the first challenge that Witt had is if it could have gone either way. There was no middle ground. Either they were both right or they were both wrong.
Yeah, no, actually, it was a good strategy at first, but it did bite him in the butt eventually. I would look. Did anyone do back-to-back challenges that actually succeeded? Dave, do you know?
Not that I can recall.
Because that was a big risk. No, but again, it's a ballsy move because that might win you a championship. Like a championship match, you do back-to-back, you calculate it perfectly, and they work. That's big boy moves right there.
Yeah, and that makes me wonder just how much those back-to-back challenges affected Molly. Like, did they start to get into her head a little bit there?
Yeah, maybe, and it's I don't know if it's intentional. Like he got instruction of if you think there's a challenge, do it. Like usually would hesitate. Now just do it just again their mind conversation, and or that was just purely from Witt. I would love to have a conversation with Kaiser on seeing if that was just by chance or a bit planned.
Yeah, because there is a private chat that we know nothing about, so who knows?
Yeah, and there's a lot of things we'll probably never know because they kind of like they don't want to reveal the secrets. But I'm sure the managers have more interactions than we think with the players.
Oh yeah, probably. It's just nice that we can actually see a little bit of it. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff we'll never be privy to.
Yes, Kaiser was holding a sword. Yeah. So.
Now, at first it looked like it was just a Zoom background or whatever, but was he really outside? But why? It's Kaiser, Dave. Of course. Would you expect anything different?
The only thing missing was a beer in his hands, to be honest. Kaiser, although he's one of the last factions, man, he's the most entertaining coach that you can have.
For sure.
Every time he's on screen, he cracks you up. He has your attention, and you cannot not smile. It's freaking Kaiser.
No, for sure. He's like Dom Dagnito. It's like where you never know, is he in character or is he the character?
But yeah, but now we know more about him. I can really see now like the wrestling background, the knowledge, the type of approach. It's seamless when you don't know it. But he put a lot of thought in his character. So
as a longtime wrestling watcher, you could definitely see the Bobby the Brain Heenan influence there. And you know what? Could have picked a better person to pattern yourself after.
Soda, Dave actually asked a good question. What do you think, also with you, about Sam's management?
I liked it. Very supportive, and what do you want to do, and constantly saying I'm proud of you and stuff. I like that approach. It's very, very on brand for Sam.
He felt a bit too hands off to me. He seems to be a very laid back guy. Maybe it's just because he wouldn't gel with me. I'm not saying he's a bad or not a good coach, but I didn't jive with his flow for this match.
Well, I mean, it makes you wonder, like, if he's had like that with everybody, because I mean, maybe he trusts his players enough to let them do what they want to do. So and that's kind of how it came off to me.
But I can't wait to see him more because we barely seen him. He's been busy, been human, and been doing a lot of
and Christian even said it brought that up during the thing. It's just the way his schedule was. And yeah, you're right. David is 100% right. Him and Coy are very similar in style.
But Coy's more energetic.
He's more outlandish.
Yeah.
Whereas Sam is more reserved. But yeah, overall their coaching style is very similar.
But it's more outlandish. But again, I just find it's more entertaining to watch a Coy Chandru than right now, because usually Sam is spot on. But I didn't find there's not enough snarkiness. Usually he's a bit more snarky than that, right? And this one he felt just very middle.
And you know what? That'll probably happen if he faces off against Dagnino. It probably will come out.
Oh yeah, no, true. Oh yeah, probably just not the right circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. Just wasn't the right time, probably.
All right, and Now this we know what happens. The next matches. I think this is an easy one.
Oh yeah, Molly versus Demolanta. You think it's
Yep.
easy?
Yep.
Who do you got?
The LaMotta, the Malanta.
Yeah, I was going with Damon the whole time, but after today's showing, I'm inclined to agree with you.
Uh,
Demolanta is the top dog on this one.
because he's swift too. There's a confidence in his
Yeah,
answers. There's less going to multiple, if not mistaken.
yeah,
It's his energy, his confidence level matches the skills we saw. So I think he's so tuned in that Molly's gonna give her best. Uh,
yeah,
but if she misses a couple of 2-pointers or 1-pointers and he gets steals,
yeah.
he might prove himself an A-lister
Yeah,
for Star
it's
Wars.
lights out, and you know what? He's hungry. Like he kept saying, "I want to erase that 0-2. I want to erase that 0-2," and he did it. He's hungry. He's confident, and you know what? It's his to lose. Like
Yeah.
him and Kelly would be an excellent final match based on what we saw today.
Oh yeah, and that again, I said that's what I think is gonna happen in finals. Now, if ever, if ever they do meet Kelly and the Malant, I keep killing your name. If ever you're on the show one day, don't hate me. I just can't deal with L's and M's.
It's the French in you.
Yeah. But if they face each other, who do you got?
I still have Kelly, but it's going to be closer than I thought.
Okay. Okay. Who do you think the crowd is going to be for more? General.
Probably Kelly. She seems to be the fan favorite. The next, I want to say she's, you know what? Not in terms of skill or whatever. I want to say she's the next coming of Rachel Cushing in terms of popularity.
Okay. And by the way, Dave, I was talking about the Malanta, God damn it, and not Kelly.
Well, no, that's his prediction. He says Kelly because she's been on the show.
Oh, okay. It's just me to assume
Yep.
things.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Any particular news you want to go over that maybe happened this any promos, any stuff that's worth mentioning?
No, nothing really off the top of my head. I am curious to see the Knapsack match next week to see how that goes down.
I still think he's gonna lose. Something about
Yeah,
like Ace and how crazy would it be that it's Ace versus the LaMotta instead? Oh, left field.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And if that's the case, Demolanta is going to take it. But yeah, it's not something that people would have seen. Like essentially, that first match there was a bracket buster. That's what it was, because how many people were saying Scrimshaw was going to go to the final?
Yeah, it killed one of my fantasy leagues, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you know,
a lot of people cursing, and you know what? All down to one fucking word.
And I'm not mad because if it was like a blowout, I would be like, oh man, this is a wasted pick.
Yeah.
He did so well that I can't be mad of him losing.
They both went to 30 points before it even hit overtime. Like that's unheard of. Yeah, sorry, 31. Like I mean, who does that? It could have gone either way.
The listers of the SW league. That's who does that. It's the IG is you miss a question wrong. The Star Wars is you miss a letter wrong, you're screwed type of thing. It's that minute, right? So this is going to be a league of its own. Like when it's not only just Damon in the top list, when we start seeing who's the real top 5 in Star Wars, they're going to be, I think, there for a long time.
Oh yeah, like these questions were hard. I am loathsome to see what the finals questions are going to be. Yeah.
It's like, how many hair follicles is there on?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I mean, the 5-pointer about Dooku that Molly hit, it's just like, I've never heard that anywhere. They have to be pulling stuff from books.
Yeah. It's like, what kind of beast skeleton was there on the sound? Like, they never mention it in the movie.
Yeah.
It's...
Fair enough. Okay. Fair. Okay there, Mr. Star Wars fan. Yeah, no, fair enough. They have to start pulling from TV and stuff like that because some of those questions are just getting so minute.
Sorry, I just have to do a little tribute to Schnepp right now and go on Dave. Well, it's not. It's a Clone Wars. If you look at the Clone Wars, it's obvious.
Rest in peace, King Shit Rat.
All right. Missed the guy. But yeah, that's the thing. You have to be. You can't just know the movies. You can't know just movies. And though the TV shows are not going to be asked as questions, there's still knowledge it can help you transition into the movie trivia. So it's if people want to be good in this league, especially this particular league, they have to do so much training to be able to.
And you know what? Dave is right. In the Ace match, they did have a question about an action figure.
Holy crap! Real?
Yeah, they did.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I think it was around 2 questions, if I'm not mistaken.
Dave, can you write it out?
I was right. It was around
by memory.
Question, yeah.
All right. And you remember what was the circumstances of the question?
Oh God, no, I don't remember that.
Okay. Well, yeah, but yeah. Which is there a place for that? Like, are they running out already of questions? They're going that deep.
You've only got 10 movies to pull from. Like, how deep can you go in them? And you know what? For this particular league, I'm fine if they go towards that, if it's movie related. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. But at one point, when is it enough?
Well, when they start going into Legends, that's when it's enough.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. And yes, 13 movies, thank you.
Sorry,
we can't counter Star Wars, apparently. All right. Look, in that case, I think this pretty much concludes our episode of Schmoedown 9 Canada. Look, by the way, we are on the road to 100 subscribers. We're getting there. We're at 77. Slowly but surely wins the race, right? But we need your help. Please click subscribe. You like what you saw? Hey, we got a lot more content coming. Not just Schmoedown 9 Canada. We got audio podcasts. We got interviews with the greatest Schmoedown competitors out there. So thank you very much for watching. Before we go, where can we find you, Soda?
The usual places, Soda_the_Saxman on Instagram and Twitter. I run the Twitter feed for the Media Sweaties Network. I just recorded the match of the Jack of All Trivia's fan league, and I will definitely let you guys know when that drops. I want to thank them for having me. It was a lot of fun. I cannot wait to do more. We've also got some crossovers coming up with other podcasts. If I'm not mistaken, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be on SCN Afterlife, so always look out for those. And weren't you just on some recently also, Lou?
Yes, exactly. I was on a Movie Lovers United, and it was we did back to back. Actually, we did movie news and discussion topics, and after that, the day after, so technically yesterday, we did a top 10 sci-fi list, and we were very different except for 2 movies. So it's a very interesting list from 2 different generations. So take a look at that; it's really worth it. Yeah, we're starting to get connections, man. We're real podcasters.
Yeah, you know what? It's fun, and considering we're only 6 months into this, it's mind blowing.
And just say because David just call us big shots. We're not big, but we're still shooting, right? So we're getting there. All right. So thank you very much again for listening. Till next time. Bye bye.
Salut.